Part 2. According to Salon.com, under The Plot Against America, inside the Christian right plan to remodel the nation. Subtitle: Religious rights blueprint for theocratic state laws keep creeping forward. Is the left ready to fight? April 13th, 2019. Cutting to chases and letting the beat rock. Quote, on April 3rd, USA Today published an array of stories under the banner, personal quote, copy, paste, legislate, exploring the political impact of model bills on state-level legislation. The lead story headline said it all. Personal quote, you elected them to write new laws, they're letting corporations do it instead. Okay, it wasn't quite all. While corporate influence was the strongest, listen up, figures revealed that conservative groups weren't far behind. The most notorious of such groups, the American Legislative Exchange Council, combines business interests with movement conservatives. Within the fold of conservative groups, there's another story to be told about the organizing of extremist religious conservatives, whose political mobilization played a crucial role in electing Donald Trump. Indeed, just the day before copy-paste legislate was published, the Texas Senate passed SB 17, a bill that would protect anti-LGBTQ discrimination by all licensed professionals who claim to act on a, personal quote, sincerely held religious belief. Personal quote, it's time for Americans to wake up to the harsh reality that the religious right, fueled by their fear of loss of power from the changing demographics in our country and their support from the Trump administration, is emboldened and aggressively pursuing all means possible to maintain white Christian power in America. Rachel Laser, the president of American United for Separation of Church and State, told Salon, the Project Blitz, that's it, Project Blitz, for example, has already introduced over 50 bills in at least 23 states this year alone, she added. One spin-off story published in the Nashville Tennessean dealt specifically with an anti-LGBTQ adoption model bill. The Tennessee bill came from Project Blitz, which was described as, personal quote, listen up, a legislative effort with the stated aim to bring back God to America. But as Salon has reported in the past, Project Blitz is much more sinister than that. Frederick Clarkston, senior research analyst at Political Research Associates, was the first to discover its three-tier playbook, produced by a coalition of right-wing activists he'd long been following, including Texas Republican activist and pseudo-historian David Barton, whose book, Jefferson Lies, which tries to remake Thomas Jefferson as an evangelical hero, was canceled by its publisher under withering criticism from conservative and evangelical scholars. Personal quote, the authors of Project Blitz playbook are savvy purveyors of dominionism. Say it again. The authors of Project Blitz playbook are savvy purveyors of dominionism, Clarkson told Salon at the time. Another personal quote, they are in it for the long haul and try not to say things that sound too alarming, talking about that secret cabal, but they live an imminent theocratic vision. Not all their allies will go all the way with them, Clarkson told me, but the theocratic end they envision is chillingly akin to, personal quote, than Handmaid's Tale. Reason enough to warrant far more attention than they've been getting so far. The first tier of Project Blitz aims to importing the Christian nationalist worldview into public schools and other aspects of the public sphere. That's Bannon and DeVos' job. The second tier aims at making government increasingly a partner in, personal quote, Christianizing America. And the third tier contains 3 types of proposed laws that protect religious beliefs and practices specifically intended to benefit bigotry. This is one way that the agenda of theocratic dominionism is reframed as protecting the rights of theocrats to discriminate against those deemed second class at best. As the late theocratic theologian R.J. Rushdoony said, personal quote, "Only the right have rights." The broader findings revealed in Copy-Paste Legislate help to expand our understanding by highlighting 3 significant patterns shared in various ways with Project Blitz, which are used to advance their theocratic agenda, often hidden in plain sight. Example. So as you can plainly hear, our enemies are in it to win it, and are implementing their Luciferian Christian Zionist worldview right under our noses. Hey, speaking of noses, let's follow ours to see where this information will lead us, shall we? According to Cult Watch, CULTWATCH, one word, under Attack of the Super Apostles, quote, "Are you hearing phrases like obey, apostolic mandate, fivefold ministries?" I know we done heard them. "Tithing, honor the pastor, set man, theocracy, under authority, covering, robbing God, or submit at your church?" Cult Watch web servers are running hot as Christians rush to download Cult Watch in-depth expose of the super apostles. If you are a Christian, you need to read these articles. Listen up, listen up. Get informed and get warned about the super apostles' clandestine push to mainstream mind control practices in the Christian church. Note, Cult Watch helps people of all belief systems. This article is aimed at a Christian audience and so contains discussion of specific Christians' beliefs. People who are not Christians may not find it interesting. Let's go forward. Under Attack of the Super Apostles, warning introduction. Quote, "It all started several years ago as Cult Watch began receiving isolated reports of the same mind control techniques usually found in cults being used in certain New Zealand Christian churches. Since then, these reports have increased in frequency and intensity. Numerous people have independently reported that the techniques detailed in the Cult Watch website, www.howcultswork.com, that's www.howcultswork.com. I want y'all to see that. They do a pretty good job. Are becoming commonplace in more and more Christian churches, both in New Zealand and around the world. Here in America. Now I'm understanding, it's off the cuff, now I'm understanding that's why, what's that? I like him for science. I like him for the science. Chuck Messler. That's why he hightailed it over there. That's why he hightailed it over there. This is what these cats are doing. All right. Quote, "Our research has confirmed that certain Christian pastors have turned to mind control as a technique for growing their church. We have copies of their tapes, sermons, seminars, courses, and other documentation that provide solid evidence of their deliberate employment of mind control." See the Cult Watch website, and I just told you about that, and learn more about mind control. "Unfortunately, these pastors have done significant damage to individual Christians. However, something was puzzling us. During our investigation, we began to notice a disturbing trend relating to the spread of these underhanded techniques. These were not isolated instances. Instead, their spread seemed to be carefully orchestrated. Were there masterminds behind this phenomenon? Question mark. Was someone or some people deliberately promoting these unchristian practices? Let's check it out. The warning. Quote, false apostles are rising up in New Zealand and the United States, Australia, and the United Kingdom, and in other countries. They plan to subjugate, that's to bring under control and governance as a subject, to conquer, churches and their leaders. From what we can tell, these super apostles aim to build a fiefdom, a medieval feudal state, of churches with themselves as the lords, second only to God himself, the king. What these self-proclaimed apostles lack is solid biblical doctrine. They make up with cultic mind control techniques, also known as spiritual abuse, and hyped prosperity preaching. The super apostles claim that the biblical ministry of an apostle has been forgotten and God has called them to restore it. Haven't we heard that? The super apostles are in effect promoting a false apocalyptic ministry. Stop. Hopefully by now you can perceive they are exposing the exact same Luciferian Christian Zionist New Apostolic Reformation cult that has taken over America. We are exposing time and time again. And as you can plainly hear, we are on the right track when we perceive they are using military-grade mind control methods. But let's continue for more clues, shall we? Letting the beat rock and cutting out their deceptive Paul understanding.